Hi, and welcome to yet another Talk Wednesday. I have been chatting with our guest offline, and I'm so excited for what we are going to discuss today. But before we get started, I want to make sure that we thank the Pursuit 365 founder, Miss Shelley Lynn Hughes. Thank you so much, Shelley, for this opportunity to be here. And also to thank our Talk Wednesday sponsor, Leanne Miles at the Clinton Wilkins Mortgage Team. Without her, we wouldn't be able to bring these to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you to Leanne. And I am so excited to introduce you guys today to Estrellita Gonzalez, coming to you from Vancouver, BC. And as you can see on the screen, Estrellita likes to go by Esty, which I think is great. And I'm a name shortener, so as you can see, I'm a Steph all the way. So I love that. We're kindred spirits already. So welcome to Talk Wednesday, Estrellita. So great to meet you, and I'm so excited to dive into you and your story. So we already know you're coming from Vancouver. And you were just sharing with me that you've actually been part of the Pursuit 365 community since the beginning. So I would love to hear about how you got involved. How did you, what was your journey to getting involved with the first book? I'd love to hear about that.
Yes, thank you so much, Steph. It's great to be here today. I've known Shelley Lynn for a while because she's also sort of involved with skincare and the beauty business as a publisher, and I knew her from Fresh Magazine. And for the last, I guess, since 2016, I wrote my first book, my own little book, which was called Face Your Acne, because I have a skincare clinic and we do a lot of work with acne. That was my first book, and then since that time, I have done a number of collaboration books. I love writing, and it's been a really great outlet for me to get involved with these projects, which are very much about women empowerment, which I also very much support and want to encourage more of in the world. And so when Shelley was launching that first book, I mean, it was such a beautiful project. I could not be involved with it, and it was just another one of like every year I've kind of had a book to launch with, whether it's on my own or with somebody else. So it just made sense. And I've been involved. I've got the new one that's coming out, and I've got to do my chapter coming out. And I like to get in front of people. I usually have a slightly different message with each of the collaboration projects that I've done with the books. But yeah, it kind of ties my love of writing with just my love of also just branding and myself as a person, but also for my businesses.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So you mentioned skincare. So skincare can be very, very broad. So we know now, we hear all the time in entrepreneurship, about how, we need to have you need to know your niche. So, or your niche, however you choose to say that. So what is your component of skincare that lights you up the most? What is it when you've got a client that has a certain issue, what's the one that you love to dive into the most?
Yeah, I mean, my business started 10 years ago as a one-room skincare clinic that we now have 6 rooms. And at the time, everything was about technology. I don't come from the aesthetics world. I'm not an esthetician. I come from sort of corporate marketing and HR. But what I recognized at that time was what was happening to the world of aesthetics and technology. And I'd had my own really positive experience. I'd had hyperpigmentation or melasma around my face from being pregnant. And one of the technologies that we use actually got rid of that. And I thought, wow, I was so amazed because I'd been talking to a dermatologist about getting laser. And this thing took it away quite easily. And I thought, this is really interesting. And so I kind of delved into that a bit more. And I recognized that was coming more and more. I think the industry was sort of positioned for a lot of change with the embracing of technology. And so that has been the core fundamental part of the services that we do. We started with facials and technical facials. And so we've broadened our menu to include full face, full body, and then sort of anti-aging, but also acne. And we do a lot of work in acne. And where I'm positioned, my clinic is in Vancouver on the west side. 16th and McDonald. I've got UBC up the hill, a lot of high schools around me. And I'm really passionate about also helping young people with their journey around acne. There's a lot of kids don't know how to necessarily deal with the stress of acne and the way that they feel and they look because their skin's breaking out. So I wrote the book, Face Your Acne, which is 10 things that young people can do to actually try to manage the symptoms of acne and try to prevent it. So we're always been around, we're about correction and prevention with the clinic and just really educating people about how to take care of their skin at home too. Because there's a part 2 to my journey, which was before I started this clinic, the space that I'm in was a holistic doctor, and he had been my holistic doctor. And he had me doing a bunch of tests, and one of them was a heavy metals test. And when I got the results of that, I was off the charts with lead. And I had no idea. He just said, do these 3 tests. I did them, and this is what came back with one of them. And as I started to do a lot of the research, I recognized that beauty products and skincare, cosmetics were probably contributing from a bioavailable standpoint to this accumulation of lead in my body. And it infuriated me that there were companies that were making these products that would contain these harmful ingredients. And I'd won this book around the exact same time called Not Just a Pretty Face, The Ugly Side of the Beauty Industry. And as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh my God, like people are just not even knowing that they're actually polluting their bodies with a lot of these products, right? Personal care products, deodorants, that sort of thing. So I was trying to combine sort of the 2 things of great technology, but also education around what you're putting on your skin. And so we also kind of had one of the first organic facials that you could get in Vancouver. And so we talk about skincare ingredients with our clients as well. So a lot of information there, but it's kind of like this full circle moment for me that happened to me personally that resulted in this journey that I really didn't even know I was going to take. And it obviously took a number of years for it to kind of come together because I wasn't an esthetician. There's a lot of learning to do. But now 10 years later, I love the marketing part, the branding part, the writing part. And I just love talking with you today to talk about this subject because it is related to health and it's related to well-being and making those decisions with your dollars with what's important to you for your self-care.
That's and wow, that's huge. And I love hearing, I can tell how passionate you are about this. And I'm just leaning in because, being someone that, I struggled for a long time with, my face breaking out and all the things. And, so you're going and you're buying this product and that product. And I remember someone buying me a facial for my very first time. And the gal doing my facial, she said to me, you have sensitive skin. And the long and the short of it was I was using such harsh things trying to battle the oil on my face, but it was because of the harshness of the products that I was oily and breaking out. And as soon as I used, this calm, more gentle thing, like everything just magically cleared up and you're like, oh, but had I never had that opportunity, I never would have learned that. And I would have been caught in the vicious cycle forever because there's just a lot of misinformation out there. And I'm in the, one of my businesses is health and wellness. And it's the same thing. Like it's trying to break through the noise in the world and trying to unpack what's fact, what's fiction, what's marketing, so to find good, honest people like you that genuinely want to help, like if only there could be more of you out there. So thank you for that gift that you're giving to the world, really, to help others, right? And that ripple effect, just spreads, because it's about education, right?
Yes, and it's about integrity and it's about alignment, and health and wellness is health and well-being is my number one value. And I think that was also a aha moment in my business where, because, like any entrepreneur, when you're starting something, you have doubts. Am I on the right track? Am I really supposed to be doing this? And I feel very strongly that we all have a purpose in this world, and our job is to figure out what that purpose is. And it's not something that generally most of us, like right there at the age of 18, I know why I'm here. It is a journey. And I think once I kind of figured out, oh my gosh, there actually is an alignment with what I'm doing here, with what's important to me, which is health and wellness. And that was a real turning point in my business as well, because I was motivated every day to continue to do what we were doing, to educate, to do what we could to spread the word, whether it's through social media, YouTube videos, you know, you name it. I've done it all, and I try to find different ways to communicate with people because people communicate differently, you know, as well. And so I have really wonderful staff. I have people on staff who know skin. Often estheticians know skin better than doctors because they're in front of skin every day. Many times they have picked up on issues around possible skin cancer risk, that sort of thing. So people used to say, oh, you know, facials are for rich people. And I really believe that that is a fallacy. I think our skin is exposed every day to the elements, to pollution. Those of us in the city age 10% faster just living in a city because of the pollution. You have the sunscreen need, you know, because of the sun in there as well. So actually having your skin looked at professionally is really important as part of a sort of wellness routine that we all want to look for from, you know, for our bodies from head to toe.
Now, how do you get past? Because I know, and it's like this with so many other aspects in business. You know, how do you get past the whole, um, well, like I can't afford that. And is that something you tend to run up against? Um, you know, again, being, in my line of work, it's always like, okay, tell me about your program, but how much does it cost? And it's like, as soon as they, as soon as they're leading with the cost, like, because if you're, and I know you're the same way, you're like, but let me tell you the facts and the story first, right? Because then you wouldn't question the cost. So, how would you address that?
Well, people are generally motivated by one of two things, right? Pain or pleasure. If people are coming to us, you know, we offer a free consultation. We already know that there's something they're not happy about or wanting to improve on. And I think, you know, you also offer in your business different ways for people to get into your system. And I think if we're able to offer them a solution for their problem and we understand maybe what their budgets may be, we have a lot of students that we work with, a lot of teens, a lot of moms who call us, can you help my teen? Because they're not listening to me because I know nothing, but they'll listen to you because you're the professional. You know, we're sensitive to that. And I think we actually, our services, for instance, we have a membership that to me, it's $85 a month and it gives you access to our 60-minute technical facial, which is normally $135. So if you have problematic skin, what is your budget? Come and talk to us. Like, you know, we make it affordable, I think, for people who do have those pain points that they're trying to address. And, you know, same thing with skincare. I'll say to people, what is your budget for skincare? You should have something that you set up for the year. And, you know, I want to spend $300 a year. And then we can work with you and say, well, this is what we think your skin actually needs right now. And there are some core pieces that everybody needs as part of their skincare routine. You need a good cleanser, depending if it's acne or anti-aging. You need an exfoliator. Everybody needs to exfoliate at least once a week. You need a decent moisturizer. And then there's add-ons from there that we can get into collagen, elastin, vitamin C. So it's really about figuring out what people are prepared to spend. And I am obviously a proponent of professional products because they tend to have the ingredients that are going to be stronger and more in line with what you're actually needing around that correction piece.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And it's so interesting to me, again, how much our stories align because in my wellness business, I've been here for 10 years and very much like you, I didn't set out to do this, but because of my own personal experience and the impact that it made on my life, it was just like I couldn't not do it. And you look back a couple years later and you're like, man, I didn't see myself here at all, right? But it's when something changes your life, right, you want to shout it from the mountaintops, and the fact that you are impacting people's lives the way you are, that is so special. Okay, so we know now you are doing great things with with people and their skin and all the rest. And you've been doing this for 10 years. Now, you were sharing with me before we hit record, though, because we entrepreneurs, we just can't help ourselves, right? We're constantly, these brains of ours are constantly worrying and spinning. And so you were sharing with me that you are working on something new, and it sounds so exciting. So if I had a drum roll, I'd roll the drum. So tell us, Essie, what are you working on? What's coming down the pipe?
Well, one of the things that I've missed and that I love to do is to travel. And of course, a lot of us are, coming out of COVID and maybe having those thoughts again about this desire to travel. And I have really loved, talking to people about wellness, and also there's a spirituality aspect to the work that I do into myself. And so I launched a business this year called simplydivineretreats.com. And the idea, we're going to have different types of retreats, spiritual retreats, ones related to the divine leadership. I think the older I get, I've become more and more of a feminist. And so I love the power of women in particular working together, collaborating. I was a politician for 5 years up until last month. And I saw some amazing work being done with female politicians. And I have also this She Power Retreats mastermind concept that I want to bring, female politicians from around the world together to mastermind around problems that, people are either facing or have faced, and kind of working together to solve some of those problems, whether you're in Africa or in the United States or in Latin America. To really, have the sense of empowerment that comes with people working together. And my retreats aren't geared only to women, but there is a theme around sort of female empowerment, combining my love of travel with my first career was in the hotel industry, and then with my love of spas and spa management, and being able to offer, sort of curated experiences in some really beautiful destinations, but also as a learning vehicle, right, for people to share and learning and leave with some tools to help them, whatever the theme of the particular retreat would be, but to have them leave with some tools to carry on with the life that they envision for themselves.
Wow, that sounds so cool. That beautiful melding of so many of your life experiences and your life's work really culminating and coming together, um, and creating something so beautiful. So again, what's your website again?
Simplydivineretreats.com.
Simplydivineretreats.com. Okay. And so where do you envision traveling? Because I'm assuming that these are, in some exotic locations. So, for example, where are you dreaming about hosting these?
There's one in the works right now for 2023. It will be in Thailand, near Koh Samui. There's a very special island that's made of rose quartz that vibrates at a very high energy level, and is very kind of known for spiritual type retreats. So I'm joined forces in this instance with a woman who is basically a guru. She spent 15 years under the tutelage of a guru in India, and has come back, and she's been released into the world to spread the word of enlightenment. And she and I just resonated on so many different levels. So working with her and her expertise around things like yoga and meditation, to me, meditation is a super useful tool for anybody in this kind of stress world. It's a way for us to get centered, to get clear, to get clarity, to also, sort of help guide us make really important decisions that we have in our lives. And so for the retreats, there will always be sort of core parts to it, and meditation will be a large part of that. Plus just the sort of learning pieces that each of the trainers or retreat leaders will bring to that particular retreat. I have several women that I've sort of teamed up with and are collaborating with. And Daira is one of them, who will be doing the spiritual retreat that we have pegged for Thailand in 2023. So there'll be some details of this coming out actually in the next week. Hopefully by this time next week, it'll be on my website and people can read more about it then, and maybe even sign up.
Whoa, that sounds exciting. So, all right. So Thailand, how many days? Is this a week? Is it a 3-day thing? Is it a month? How
Yes,
long are
it'll
we
be
going for?
this one would be 7 days. We also have at least one, if not two, for 2023 in Canada. That would be the Simply Divine Feminine Retreat, which is typically 3 days. So we're working on looking for a location for that for 2023 as well. So the retreats will generally be between 3 and 7 days. And it's one of those things. It's a new business. I'm embarking on this. I don't know what I don't know yet fully. I'm hoping that it's something that works well with in tandem with me running my business here, which I'm slowly been scaling up, and I'm building capacity in with that because I need that place to function without me being here for a few weeks at a time. And that's really what 2023 is for me. It's a transition year, both with my business here to establish it and have a firm team, great team in place, and then getting this one going and allowing me to do 2 or 3 retreats a year that combine the love that I have for, like I mentioned, hotels and spas and traveling and just helping people live to their full capacity.
I love that. I love that. I had a beautiful thing to say, and it's left my brain.
That's fine.
So
It'll
that's
come back if it needs to.
oh, that's the first that's happened in all of these. So what I was going to say is how much I appreciate you sharing that you don't have it figured out yet, because that's something, again, I think in entrepreneurship, right? We get this need that, until it's perfect, and sometimes you just know, like, your heart just tells you, I got to do this, and it's all gonna figure itself out. And so thank you actually for sharing that. I think I needed to hear that today, just for my own reasons and my own my own self-limiting beliefs with some stuff that I'm working on. So thank you. Thank you for that. um
We
and
all
I
have a sense of
love the
Sorry, I was going to say
go
this
ahead.
sense of perfection, entrepreneurs do. And I used to have a coach, and his thing was, say to yourself, ready, fire, aim. Like, just get it done and then tweak it once you've got it out there. Because I think that sense of perfection is what holds us back from just doing it, right? So just like get it good, do what you can, and then get it out there and test it. And then tweak it if you need to. At least you're taking action, and life ultimately is about taking action. You can have all the ideas in the world, but if you're not doing anything with them, then what is the point? You're never going to move ahead unless you're actually doing something.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know I gave a talk not too long ago where I'd heard a gentleman, his name is Rory Vaden, and I'd heard him on a podcast, and he'd said, if you've got this thing that's tugging at you, that there's somebody else in the world that, like, if you've got that thing on your heart that you're feeling you need to share or whatnot, there's somebody out there that's basically saying, yes, I need to hear your message. I need to experience, I need to whatever it is. And so that's something that I've really tried to continue to remind myself. But I love that ready, fire, aim. It's been like every single one of these Talk Wednesdays, there's been like a mic drop moment, and that was a mic drop moment. So yeah, like done.
And on that note,
Thank you to you and your coach for sharing that. Yeah, that is fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So we've got your website. So what's the name of your skincare business? So if somebody wanted to, reach out to you in that aspect, where can they find you? Where can they research you? Where can they come
yeah,
visit you?
they can come visit. We do online consultations too. It's dermabrightclinic.com. Bright, BRIGHT, so bright skin. I've always been about bringing out your best and brightest skin. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I have a YouTube channel, so at Dermabright is my handle with most of the big social media platforms. And like I said, you come in, if you're in Vancouver, come in, book a free consult. We can take a look at your skin, give you some feedback. If you're listening to this and maybe you're in a small town somewhere that doesn't even have maybe an esthetician or a skincare clinic, give us, let us do a free online consultation with you. We can give you some feedback on perhaps some products that you could benefit from. I have an online store on my dermabrightclinic.com site. I also have a separate e-commerce store called myskinsalon.com, and that also has a number of skincare products and accessories that we sell there as well. So yeah, that we're hopefully people can find us easily, and if not, they can contact you and you can point us in them in the right direction.
Absolutely. And for anybody with the book, we have Estrellita on page 309 in the Black Pursuit 365. I don't have my other book here because I didn't realize you were in both till you and I started to chat. And you have shared that you are going to be coming into the new book for 2023. For anyone else that is interested in the 2023 book, it's a business-based book, and I'm really, really excited for that one to come out. And the stories in these books are just so beautiful, so beautiful. So once again, thank you to Shelley for this incredible vision and this incredible project, and right, and for giving us the chance to be part of it. So Essie, I've been having a riot with one particular question that I've been wrapping up my last handful of talks with, and I've been loving the answers. So I'm going to drop this one on you too. So not my question, it's one I'm stealing from one of my favorite podcasters. But the question is, okay, if you were going to give a TED Talk on nothing you are known for, what would your TED Talk be on? Or what would your TED Talk be about?
Probably something around parenting, perhaps the joys or the ups and downs. And maybe specifically single parenting, because I've been doing that with my son, who's now 19. We've been co-parenting, the world of parenting, and the sort of joys and struggles and ups and downs that I think that come with that too, because it is another facet, I think, to who I am as a person, which also, contributed to my desire to have my own business. Was really be able to spend time with my son when he was younger and go to his school and all of that too. So it's definitely a big part of who I am.
Oh, I love that. I love that. It's always so incredible to hear the answers to that story, because it just wraps in a whole other component of people. And so thank you for that transparency and for sharing that little piece of your life. All right. Any last things you want to share with the Pursuit 365 community?
Just a big shout out to you, Steph, to Jen, to Shelley. Really a wonderful crew. They're just very authentic, very giving. And I really, really appreciate the support that they give to us as entrepreneurs to be able to get, our wording out, our branding out, always coming up with interesting activities, so I give kudos to them, because it's not easy. You're dealing with a lot of authors too, and I think they've really created something very, very special. So that's a thank you to all of you and the roles that you're all playing to help us also create, content for us as business owners. I mean, that is king, as you probably know, right? We're always having to sort of create some ways to engage with the public so they get a feel of who they are. I really believe that people want to do business with people they like. And one of the first things whenever I see a new business, I always go to their website. Who's behind this company? And nothing perturbs me more than when I see there's no, I have no idea who the owners are of this business. There's just nothing about the people. And because maybe of my HR background, I'm always about the people who I work with and the people who are behind businesses, so that our clients can also feel and be attracted to that, right? That these are great people, they're authentic, they're really here to kind of make my day better. So that's really important to me. And hopefully that's also something that my clients would feel, is the case as well. Service, really important as well today. And I think these guys also do a really great job with that. So thank you so much for the opportunity to chat. I've really enjoyed our talk today.
Oh, me too. Me too. I'm always fascinated to learn about other people's worlds, right? And again, in entrepreneurship, we can all get wrapped up in comparison-itis at times, right? And it's just knowing that we all have our gifts that we bring to the world. And yeah, I love leaning in and hearing about other people's passions and their joys and what gets them out of bed every day. So thank you so much for what you are giving to the world with your expertise, with your passion, with your knowledge. And it really sounds like you're going to be shining a lot of love and light as you move forward with your new project. So I wish you nothing but the best, fulfillment and success and all the things. And I know one day our paths will cross, that's for sure. Thank you for your time today. Thank you again to Shelly for this amazing platform and this amazing opportunity, and to, of course, our generous sponsor Leanne Miles, for bringing Talk Wednesday to you. Everybody have a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you, and until next time.